So my current seasonal job, I work for an ag company, and what we do is deliver products to orchards, greenhouses, sod farms, and farmers. We deliver chemicals, we deliver seed, fertilizer, pesticides, herbicides, all of that. I really enjoy this job because I get to drive, I get to see different parts of Michigan, I get to see different farms and beautiful places, greenhouses, orchards. I just really enjoy it. I get to meet a lot of great people, and I also work with some really great people as well. So I really enjoy doing this work. One of the things that I really love about this specific job that I work for, it's a great company. This is my third season with them. They offer 401k, medical insurance, so you get all the benefits even as a seasonal employee. And the really nice thing is, working here, when the season is over, they put me on a seasonal leave and I still get to keep my benefits.
One thing we love for RV life that makes setup and teardown so much easier on travel days is our RV snapjacks. We no longer have to use stabilizer blocks, although we can use them if we want to, because the RV snapjacks are permanently attached. Matt has noticed how well they grip all surfaces and loves having one less thing to worry about when he's setting up. You can use code WHYNOTWANDER at the link in the description to get 10% off your RV snap pads. Thank you so much to RV Snap Pad for sponsoring today's video.
The nice thing about driving jobs is anyone can do it as long as you have the proper endorsements. And a lot of times if you go to work for a local school district, they will pay for you to get your license, your CDL, as well as most of your endorsements. For any of you who are former bus drivers, you could also do this job. You could work for national parks driving a shuttle. You could work for a local school district just for the season, maybe as a part-time driver or a sub driver. You could also work for a charter bus company if you have that passenger endorsement. So you have a lot of options if you are a former school bus driver. When we were down in Florida, I purposely studied and got my hazmat endorsement and my tanker endorsement, just so that I had them available for any driving jobs that required them. This job, working for the ag company, we deliver a lot of chemicals and I need my hazmat endorsement. So I am really, really thankful that I got that. And it only costs like $15, might have been $20 to add that to my license. But it was really a worthwhile investment. I've used it multiple times. We've met so many people on the road who work so many different types of temporary and seasonal jobs all over the country, whether that's from hospitality to healthcare or working in a restaurant, whether you're waiting tables or a line cook. We also met a guy that said he returns to the same Home Depot in the same city every year and works for them seasonally. We also had Larry from Larry Hansen on the podcast with us, and he talked about working for Walmart, and he traveled all over the country working for Walmart and just transferring within the Walmart system. We also talked with Chase and Bryce, and Chase is a traveling welder and Bryce sometimes works with him on some of the jobs. Now they make enough money in half of the year to take the other half of the year off and just travel. There are so many options and opportunities out there for temporary and seasonal work. Now, what if you have zero interest in temporary or seasonal work and you want the stability of a full-time job? Well, you're gonna love the information and tips that Laurie's gonna share.
When you think about becoming a full-time RVer and needing to make an income on the road, remote work is the number one thing that people think about. And that's for a good reason. I'm sitting in a hotel room, completely displaced from our RV right now, and I'm still able to do my job. So it is a good option. If you've been following us the last couple of years, you know we had a seasonal job fall through at the last minute that left us scrambling for work over a summer. So normally we're booked about a year in advance, sometimes a little more than that, and this left us 6 weeks to find a job. So due to the area we were in and just the circumstances at the time, I decided to start looking for a remote job. I applied for several jobs. I ended up falling for one scam on Indeed, and then I did end up getting an email from the vice president of a company asking if I was interested in a different position than I had applied for. I ended up working for that healthcare company for a few months before there was an acquisition and literal overnight changes to both the company and my position. And it just wasn't what I had signed up for, so I ended up resigning. But fast forward to a year later, and our son was diagnosed with cancer. So we needed to go back home. And so I started looking for remote work again. And I landed a job very quickly this time. If you're considering full-time RV life and you want to land a remote job, I cover more about this topic along with everything else you need to know in our new online course, the Full-Time RV Life Academy. There are pros and cons to having a remote job as a full-time RVer, and I just want to talk openly about those. So it depends on what your goals are, and it's totally okay if this works for you. I just want to talk honestly about what my current experience is like. So I am still essentially working a 9 to 5. I'm still working 5 days a week. I do have insurance and I do have 401k and all of the PTO benefits, all the things that come with a full-time job. But I'm not going to lie, I still feel like I'm stuck in that corporate world. So that is definitely a con for me. It's also a pro because you do have all of the benefits, but with work camping, you don't have to. If you're working like a 4-3 schedule, you have the 3 days off. You have the freedom to go and do more things. And I'm just feeling like the remote work doesn't give me that freedom that I was loving and was used to. I am not trying to be negative about remote work as a full-time RVer, but I do have the ability to compare it to the work camping and seasonal work lifestyle. And so I just want to be fully honest. If you're considering this lifestyle and the different jobs that you could be doing, I want you to have the full picture. So the other thing that is a con for remote work is it does limit your travel days. So if you want to go to a specific area and you really want to explore that area, you do only have those couple of days a week to explore, but you also only have those couple of days to travel. With our work camping and seasonal work schedule, we always tried to do a 4-day work schedule and then 3 days off, 3 consecutive days off. And I don't have that with remote work. Also, when we were traveling between jobs, between seasonal jobs or work camping jobs, we were able to take as much time off as we wanted or could afford. And I don't have the ability with remote work to do that. I'm needing to ask for PTO to do that. Sometimes I need to ask for PTO to get from one place to the next, or if we're having issues with our RV or something like that. And so it's just something I'm not used to. I'm not used to having to ask for permission. And I know that sounds like I'm a total spoiled brat, but that is the freedom that you have with a work camping or seasonal work lifestyle. Again, like I mentioned a little bit ago, you are still very much stuck in the corporate routine, I guess you would say. One way we've enjoyed adding to our income is by sharing our journey on social media. This is not something we had planned on doing when we hit the road. We actually started a YouTube channel like every other RVer several months into our full-time RV life journey and started sharing on social media. This became a huge creative outlet for me, and we now have a community of over 350,000 between YouTube and all of the different social media platforms. So this has become another stream of income for us between social media monetization and working with brands. If this is something that interests you, I created a Facebook course that teaches you how to grow your Facebook page using the exact strategy that I used to grow our account to over 100,000 followers in just under 4 months, and now we have over 250,000 followers. I also have a private Facebook group set up where we can work together one-on-one with ideas as you try to grow your page. Facebook has a new monetization program where you can get paid for all of your posts, reels, stories, and videos, so now is a really good time to learn Facebook strategies. If you've watched any of our videos, you know we were able to hit the road and become full-time RVers because of work camping. So that's another way you can make money on the road.
With work camping, you get to live and work in amazing places for 4 to 6 months, sometimes shorter, sometimes a little bit longer, and you get your site for free or at a very low cost. This always makes us feel like we are cheating the system, but this has allowed us to live our full-time RV life years sooner than we ever thought we could.
A lot of people think that work camping equals cleaning toilets, and that is not always the case. Of course, there are plenty of jobs that do require cleaning bathrooms, but I have worked in the office at a campground, and I've also worked in a mailroom at a huge RV resort. So there are definitely other options.
Yeah, and I love working outside, mowing, trimming, but if that's not your cup of tea, there are other things for guys out there. You can work security, you can work the front gate. There are a lot of different options.
One other thing about work camping is there are options for longer term positions if you're looking for a little bit more stability or if you're looking for benefits even. So we interviewed Wake Up and Wander, and they are actually in Ouray, Colorado, and they are there year round. They're managing the KOA campground there. So they have benefits and all of that because they are a corporate KOA campground, and they're also able to take the time off and have the benefit of PTO and all of that to enjoy the area, but they have the stability of having the benefits and the year-round income that's guaranteed. Also have the ability, if you watch that podcast, to transfer among corporate KOA campgrounds and continue your benefits. There are also a lot of other options as far as this type of arrangement goes, and we cover that a little bit more at the end of this.
Well, if you've watched our other videos, you know that we like to ask for a 4-3 schedule. So you work 4 days and get 3 consecutive days off. Now that doesn't always work out, but that's what we like to ask for. And it is truly amazing. You're ready to actually go back to work after 3 full days off.
Yeah, we work 32 to 40 hours a week when we have that arrangement. And since we're always getting our site for free, that's straight income. So we're not having to give up a little bit of our income to pay the rent for the site. And a lot of times they will ask you to pay a little bit for your site, take it out of your check, or you'll have to pay them. But you do sometimes get that back at the end as a bonus, and that's just their way of making you stay, basically.
Another way that you can make a lot of money in a very short period of time, like 4 to 6 weeks, is working short-term gigs. Now, I work the harvest in Minnesota for a farm, and it's about 4 to 6 weeks, and the money is in the overtime. So I work a lot of hours. Now, I drive from the field to the piling station and drop off sugar beets, and then I also switch over and work driving from the field to the elevators to drop off soybeans and field corn. Again, you work a ton of hours, but you make a lot of money in a very short period of time. You can also work directly for the piling stations for the beet harvest, and you'll work different jobs on site at the piling station as the trucks come in to unload. Similarly, you can work the potato harvest as the trucks are bringing in potatoes. There are different jobs you can do. Now, we had a podcast with One Adventure at a Time, and they talked all about the potato harvest and a little bit about the sugar beet harvest as well. So check out that podcast for more information. Another opportunity would be working the fireworks for the 4th of July. You are managing a location. If you want to see what that looks like real time, JW and Corey Adventures, they are currently there right now working a fireworks location, and they will be able to show you everything that they are doing. You can also work Christmas trees, pumpkin patches. JW and Corey have even done Santa Claus gigs. Now, all of these, like I keep saying, are very short term, but very high paying. You do work a lot of hours, but the pay is great. Now, these jobs can actually set you up financially to take an entire season off if that's what you're looking to do, or to build up your bank account.
If you're wondering, how do I find these jobs? Well, I created a one-of-a-kind resource. There is absolutely nothing like this out there. And it is 35 websites you can use to find jobs. Seasonal jobs, work camping jobs, high-paying jobs, all of the things you can find in this guide. I categorized it. It's really well organized, and it's linked so that you have everything you need at your fingertips. And we have a link below for that. Another way you can make money as a full-time RVer is by doing DoorDash or Uber Eats or Instant Cart when you get to an area, especially if you're traveling into these bigger areas. I recently watched a video of a guy who did this, and he was working in the San Antonio area. He was DoorDashing, and he was doing about $150 to $200 a day. So that's another great option when you're traveling across the country.
So which one of these money-making ideas sound fun to you? We would love to hear your feedback, so drop a comment below. If you're already a full-time RVer and you're making an income on the road, let us know how you're doing it, and if it's different than anything we've talked about. We'd love to learn new ways, and that way we can share them with the rest of this community.